guys, welcome back to our channel in my sister's corner. We know it's been a while. We missed you guys. We hope you missed us in my sister's corner, where voices find their stage.
Beauty knows no name.
Communication eases pain.
All right, guys, and we're back.
Hello.
So this is the tradition we're building. So let's get into it. We're gonna start first off with our checking in.
Hello, sisters. How are we?
Good, good, good. How you doing?
Checking in today, and I must say, the day was pretty good to me. Okay, I didn't take anything from anybody. I worked the day. I didn't let the day work me.
Okay, period.
My motto is go into work one piece, come out to work at one piece. All right. So the week and the day so far has been what I call um copacetic. Okay. I have no complaints. I'm looking for the weekend. And other than that, God has been keeping me in good health, in good spirits. And just let me hear how you guys have been transitioning.
Alexis?
My transition was a challenge. Moving, being a mom to a busy little boy, and just working life itself. Like, I'm not a person to have so much anxiety, but I know when I started to get overwhelmed, I had to take a pause, take a step back or whatever. So yeah, I had to regain like my mental. My mental was all over the place, and I was like, no, this can't be it. So I wasn't thinking about anything. I wasn't thinking about recording, to be honest with you guys and transparent. I wasn't thinking about anything. But I'm here and I'm ready. And yeah, let's go.
All
Well, good.
right.
Listen, first thing is to recognize. And then after
Absolutely.
that, you
Oh yeah.
move smoothly.
Oh yeah.
Now for me, things have been great. It's been a little hot second, so just catching up. So I did my hair. I did these boho braids. I
Good.
learned from the Y University of Y. Um, and then I just got back. My husband and I took a trip to Hawaii for our anniversary, so that was really so. Over all in all, good, feeling good, mentally, physically, emotionally. So ready to start cranking these videos out, these check-ins out, these workouts, ready to crank them all out. So just getting
Yes.
into it. So I'm excited for the future to come.
Yes, definitely excited.
Absolutely.
Well,
A little
how you
side
guys been?
note. A
So I
little
know
side
what.
note.
Uh-huh.
I had no clue you did your hair.
I did. I
Sure
You
did.
did.
did that?
You
You
see
guys, this is breaking news. I just learned something new about my sister. Wow.
that?
Absolutely amazing.
It looked
Listen,
professionally done.
we need to have a
It
whole
looks
conversation
amazing.
about the fact that they charging $500 for this hairstyle
They
out of
are.
these
They are.
streets.
Yes,
And
yes,
don't
yes,
forget, they
yes.
want you to wash your own hair, by the way.
And blow
Yes.
dry.
Yep.
Mhm.
Make sure it's detangle, all that.
Mhm.
All of that. Okay.
So yeah, so to save this money, I'm definitely on, the good old web looking at videos about how to do hair.
Oh
And
yeah.
the kind of cool, I think all of us do our own hair, which is the greatest
We
thing.
do.
We do
We do.
experiment with that. So it really
Yes.
is nice to be able to kind of like we tap in. You see my sisters, both of them have their own hair done.
Right. I got my mini twist in my
Themselves.
hair. So
Mm.
So it's nice. So no, we're not paying anyone. We're gonna find out how to do it ourselves.
yes,
Trial
ma'am.
and
Absolutely.
error, baby. Trial and error.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. So let's get into it. Today's topic is forgiveness.
Oh
Forgive.
yeah.
Did
Oh.
anyone hurt you? How do you forgive? How do you move forward? How do you handle those things? So who want to kick it off?
Wow. Forgiveness is a topic that you can talk about for days. Um, Forgiveness is a very emotional topic.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very isolated topic, a topic in which people do not want to talk about because it brings out feelings that you yourself may not know you had, or you yourself may know you had, but you don't want to address them.
That's true.
Mhm.
Forgiveness is a personal roller coaster that we all have to go down. And I have learned throughout the years that forgiveness, and listen to what I'm about to say, I have learned through the years that we always thought, or at least I, speaking for myself, I always thought that forgiveness was for the other person.
Hmm.
Mm.
But I have been taught that forgiveness is for you.
Yes, ma'am.
You are doing that to ease your heart. You
Mm-hmm.
are doing that to ease your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm.
So as I have matured in age, I look at forgiveness in a totally different realm. Because I can't lie, when I was young, you do something to me that I don't like, we're not gonna talk ever again. I have nothing else to say to you. And that was it.
Yeah.
But although I had verbally said that was it and I don't care, mentally I was still thinking about what they had did to me.
Hmm.
So which one was it? Did you care or you didn't care?
Oh yeah.
Anyone else?
Yeah, see that saying if forgiveness is for me, I must be still learning that because nah. I don't yeah, no. See,
Mm.
I'm still at the heart in my heart stage a little bit. But yeah, I don't I kind of get it, but then I don't get how forgiveness is for me when I'm the one that's been wronged.
Hmm.
I, I don't get that saying. For me
See,
personally.
I look at it like this. Forgiveness is definitely for you because it gives you peace of mind. See, God Himself don't hold tally marks against you and your wrongdoing. So why should we hold tally marks against someone else? So that's how I see forgiveness. Yeah, it's really conducive to you so you can move forward. Like I said, peace of mind, happiness, and all that. So yeah, I personally feel like yeah,
See, I
it's for
get that, but I
you.
think forgetting is for you because you can forgive someone but not forget, and it still lingers in your mind. All you forgive them is so. For me
Yeah, yeah.
personally, that peace of mind doesn't for me doesn't come from forgiveness per se. I think it comes from forgetting.
But
Because,
I don't think forgiveness is forgetting. You don't
correct,
forget. You don't forget how a person treated you. But
correct.
now, since I know that you treated me that way, I'm not going to forget, but I'm gonna forgive you. You get what I'm saying? So I'm gonna tread lightly around you because I'm not gonna forget. Like I'm gonna hold my boundaries against you because I'm not gonna forget. You never forget how a person made you feel, but I
Yeah,
can forgive you. I can have you in my space.
but that works for some relationships, not all. Do you
Mm-hmm.
think that works for all? Like the whole, remember how you treated me so I can, walk different
Mm-hmm.
with you. You think that works for all types of relationship?
No, with some relationships, you gotta have them at an arm distance, and that's okay. It's I can be cordial around you, but that don't mean that we have to be on the phone all the time or oh how you doing? Like like no. So yeah, it depends upon the situation, but yeah, you can have people at a distance. I still forgive you, but I'm not gonna forget how you make me feel.
Okay, and what if about your child or your spouse? Will that keep you a distance, arm distance thing work?
No, because it's your child and it's your spouse. If you got to
So what
keep
do you
them
do
at
in that
arm
case?
distance, is what's the point of still being with them?
So what do you do in that case then?
Okay, so those are two different relationships.
Yeah.
Mm.
You as parents, um, we have this notion in our mind that we're gonna be with our children no matter what they do to us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no matter how they treat us, we're going to love them. Okay, you may distance yourself from a child who is,
Mm.
treating you wrong. And when I say that, that's not like we're going to mistreat them,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
but it's to the point where if they say, "Mama, I'm in town for the weekend. Can I come stay with you?" You might say, "I don't think that's a good idea."
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's just because of, how I feel, the way that you treat me. I don't want anything to go awry in the home, that I built. Now, if you're coming as a child to respect my home, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing about forgiveness is when you forgive someone, it doesn't mean that you have to go back to the same state you were with them before whatever they did to you happened.
True.
It just means that if you ever get to a place 10 years down the road and you see that person in Walmart and they say, "Hey, such and such, how you doing?" You are mature enough and you are conscious enough to say, "You know what they did 10 years ago, it's all right." You're able to say, "Hey, how you doing?" and keep walking down the aisle.
Mm-hmm.
We're not asking you to stop. "Hey, girl, how you doing? It's been 10 years. What's your phone number is?"
Take
We'll
it like
keep it.
uh-uh.
We won't. We won't. You just come to a place where you know what you did to me 10 years ago. It ain't hurting me today.
Mm-hmm. But I'm not
Not
forgetting.
today.
I'm
Absolutely.
not forgetting because I had,
And we're not robots. You do
yeah,
not
we're not.
forget. We are humans.
Exactly,
You
exactly,
do not forget. But you
exactly.
get to a place where you're not going to lash out because
Mm-hmm.
of what they did to you.
Like prime example, I had a friend in high school, right? Did me wrong, wrong, and
Mm.
then years later after high school, she reaches out and say, "Oh, hi, how you doing? Girl, how you doing?" Like nothing happened. I forgave her, but I didn't forget how you made me feel. So what I did, I was like, "Hey, I'm good," and she was like, "Oh, how everything's going?" Like trying to get into my life in details. No, so I kept it at a minimum, and the conversation was really short. It's my
Mhm.
thing is, if I didn't forgive you, I wouldn't have responded back. I responded back, but at the end of the day, I'm never going to forget how you made me feel. So therefore, I'm not going to be fake with you and be telling you my life story and what I got going on. You're not going to get in that inner space.
Next question. When she reached out to you, did it disturb your peace?
Did it serve me peace? I wouldn't
Disturbed. Right.
know. I was just questioning like what I mean, what's she writing me for? Because it was random. It was out of the blue. Like to be honest, I forgot her. Like she was in my past. Like she wasn't even a thought of mine. So when I
Because you
seen her in
forgot.
my inbox, huh?
Because you forgot. Hmm.
Yeah, because I did, but like I said, I never like forgot how you treated me. So when I seen her name in my inbox, I'm like, what's she reaching out to me for? But like I said, I forgave you and I moved forward. That's why I said I'm not going to linger on what you did to me. I'm not lingering on that. So that's why, yeah, I forgot. But at the end of the day, when I seen her name and her picture, no, I, the feelings and all that came like, oh yeah, I remember how you made me feel. And I'm not going to give you that. I'm not going to give you inside of Alexis anymore because
Mhm.
that is closed off for me. So yeah, that's how I handle people. Like I'm gonna communicate with you and talk to you. Hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing good, and I'm gonna keep it short, and then I'm
Mhm.
gonna move forward.
But let me ask you guys a question. What does forgiveness look like for each of you guys?
You wanna go?
Forgiveness to me looks like my peace. Forgiveness to me looks like my sanity.
Mm-hmm.
Forgiveness to me looks like what I would want someone to do for me in case I ever wrong them. Uh, Forgiveness doesn't per se have a face. It doesn't per se have, a way that it looks. Forgiveness is about whether or not you can look someone in the eye who you think has totally, insulted you
Mm-hmm.
and say, at least I can say hi. At least I can say, how are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
At least if you're going through some hard times, I can say, I'll be praying for you.
True.
Once again, we get to the point where we think forgiveness means to go back to the state we were in before we fell out.
Mm.
Forgiveness doesn't mean that. Forgiveness means for me that when I see that person, I don't get devil horns in my head and smoke coming out my ears and say, attack, charge, get them. No. Hey, how
See,
you doing? I got to go.
Yeah.
see, I can do that and still not forgive you. But
Say
go
that
ahead, like
again.
I can do all of that. I can check in. I can. That's for me. That's being a human being.
Mm.
But I forgive you. But let me ask you a question, Lexa. What does forgiveness look like for you?
Me going to sleep at night, not having to worry about it, not having, it be on my mind constantly. Um, Forgiveness also means for me, once I feel like I start praying for that person, I know I forgive you
Mhm.
because I'm not going to pray for somebody I don't forgive. You know, I wouldn't say like, oh, just praying every day about that person. No, sometimes if they laid on my heart and I say like a prayer, that I know is like, okay, yeah, I truly forgave you and how you treated me. So that's I feel like what forgiveness means to me and is.
Okay, and Van Caller, you said something that resonated with me. You said that you can go through the emotions of talking with someone but not forgive them. Can you elaborate on that?
For instance, I mean, like I can see you and say good morning. Cause my mama raised me that way. If I didn't go to bed with you at night, when I wake up, I'm gonna say good morning. I can hold a conversation with you if I need to, but I don't forgive what you've done to me. I don't forget what you've done to me. Um, so I can do things that are common courtesy and the right thing to do as a human being who was brought up the right way. Because I was ingrained in me as a kid, and still not forgive you for the things that you have done to me and the way you've hurt me.
Okay, so are there stipulations for you when it comes to forgiveness? What makes you forgive a person?
So that's the problem. I'm still working that out.
Okay,
You guys
understand.
know, Queen of Holding Grudges is somebody I live with. I think that's me. No,
Okay, okay, gotcha.
but no. I have a sensitive heart, so me being wronged, it's hard to overcome that. So forgiveness for me is when I can make eye contact with you again and not put myself mentally back in that space. My brain also works like 1,000 miles per hour. And if I'm around you and not feel like I'm physically back in that situation that we were once in, or if it's not something that sometimes crosses my mind and it makes my, me take a second, like step back mentally
Mhm,
or be like,
Mm.
or when I get to a point where I can recall a situation and it doesn't make me be like, wow, man, that really hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Or when I say about really hurt, not just saying, man, that hurt me back in the day, mean like, dang, that hurt. You see the difference of what I'm saying? I don't know how to
Yeah,
describe it.
yeah, yeah.
Um, for me, that's forgiveness. When the hurt that you cause doesn't plague every little aspect I do. For instance, like I had a falling out and the person wronged me, and I was at a Disney on ice with Emma, and a song played from a picture that I saw, and that made me jog a memory. I haven't forgiven that person. So don't
Mm.
think if that's a vague example. um, Forgiveness is something that's not my friend. Forgiveness is not something that accompanies me easily. Forgiveness is not something that I know how to do. Um, so I don't truly know how to fully forgive.
But my thing is, don't get me wrong. It's levels to it. You're not gonna forgive the person overnight, especially the amount of damage that they caused. Like if it's something small, okay, I can probably forgive you the next day. If it's something major, you cannot put a time frame on how the person is supposed to forgive. Like what time frame they're supposed to give. Oh, girl, you should have been over that. Or no. You haven't lived that. I lived that. I'm sitting in my truth, and therefore I'm working on it, and I have to take those steps in order to forgive. So it's not something that it can happen fast, and it's not something that it can just happen. Sometimes it takes a while, and that's okay.
Yeah, but so for me, I'm a slow forgiver. Let's just say that. And that don't work for some people. Some people, like I have a friend right now who is dictating the speed of my overcoming and moving forward and forgiving. And I'm like, how do you dictate someone's healing process? Like that don't make any sense to me. Me and forgiveness, we be like this.
Yeah, because it kind of can get insensitive to say, oh, like especially the person that wronged you, you still haven't forgiven me. You still trying? No, you wasn't in that position when you hurted me. So how can you point a finger and say like, oh, you're wrong because you haven't forgave me? No, 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 no. You got to work on it, especially if you want me to forgive you and for me to let you in my circle. It's a process.
But I mean, don't get me wrong. I do recognize the things I need to do. Like as far as like I told, like you guys know, like I've gotten better with holding the grudge, but it is still something that I do. Like I can be in the space with someone that we're not friends again, let's say, and I get quiet because I'm like, I don't know, for something just kind of jolts me back to that memory of, makes me uncomfortable to be myself again because I'm like, oh, last time I was comfortable, you're gonna hurt me, buddy. So,
Yeah.
and I can understand how that can be very annoying to be like, okay, you're still not over it, you're still up and down with your emotions, but that's how I kind of am. That's
But
why I got.
how long is this? Like, how long is the time frame? Is this years? And the person like looking at you like, you still not over there?
And that's a personal
Like,
roller coaster.
yeah.
That's a personal roller coaster. One thing that I do know, first of all, I want to commend you for your honesty.
Mm-hmm.
In my sister's corner is all about honesty. Okay. And for you to let us know, hey, you do me wrong on Monday, 2024, it might be 2086 before I forgive you.
At least they know.
Yeah. And that's something a lot of people won't admit, and we thank you for your honesty.
Oh
But
yeah.
one thing about forgiveness, when you forgive someone, I personally believe this. There are some situations where you may tell the person that you forgave them, but when you forgive someone, it's within your soul, yourself. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think you have to personally, hey, you know what you did to me last year, around my birthday, I forgive you, man.
That's true.
We good now.
That's
It's
true.
not an announcement that needs to be made. You just know that, okay, I'm at peace with that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Van Quilla, in your case, you say, hey, you can't just do me wrong, dog me out, and then think we're gonna be cool like that, you know? And that's for a person who for a person who personally knows you and knows how you are. If they're willing to do something like that, then they're willing to take whatever action comes behind it.
Yeah.
I think that's my problem though, is because I dive deep into everything. Friendships, I'm diving deep. Relationships in general, I'm diving deep. Whether it be work friendships that turn into friendships, it's like I'm very like full throttle in it. So I feel as if when I am hurt by that, it takes such a long time to forgive because once I forgive, I kind of tend to forget, and then I get back full throttle into it again, and open
Mm-hmm.
myself up to being hurt again. So to prevent that cycle, or to protect myself, I think that's maybe a protection mechanism. I'm slow to forgive because I have such a big, opening, loving heart when I get to that stage. Sometimes I can be real hateful, but it's life.
Because I
Okay,
know
so
what.
question.
Yeah. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead, go ahead,
No,
sister.
no, you good. Go.
A question. When you say you dive deep back in again, is that with the same individual or with other people and you feel like, okay, wow, they might wrong me too?
I think both. I think it's the person who wronged me. Sometimes I'll be like, let's do this together. Let's do that together. Let's just do that. I'm like, man, weren't you saying you're gonna protect yourself, put your walls up, and then like don't put yourself in a situation that you're gonna get hurt again? Or with new people, I'm just like, Let me try. Yeah, it's a ball of confusion over here in this
Mhm,
screen.
mhm. Okay.
Because for me, I know what goes hand in hand with forgiveness is closure. And a lot of people, for
Big word,
me,
big word.
that was a big thing for me back then in the day. But I know a lot of times you cannot depend on someone giving you closure because it may not happen. Back in the day, yes, I needed some closure. Sure did. Sure did. Now today, I'm like, I cannot put that expectation on someone else because if I do, I'm gonna be hurt. Expectations leads to failures. I feel that, so you have to forgive for yourself, and even if it's without closure. So I feel like closure and forgiveness, it goes hand in hand. How y'all
I
feel?
agree. It goes hand in hand. I believe closure, like I said, growing up, I've been taught the closure is for yourself. So I believe closure is for yourself. I'm sorry, I believe forgiveness is for yourself because the people that you're seeking the closure from, they may not give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
So in order for you to heal your own heart, in order for you to ease your own pain, you got to forgive. And once again, it doesn't have to be a public announcement. You do not have to call that person and say, "Hey, what's up? I forgive you, man. It's all good over here." No, you just know that tonight I'm going to sleep a little better
Yeah.
because that issue that was on my mind, it ain't there no more. Please. But it doesn't mean that you're not going to look out for yourself and look out for that person when they come around you.
Y-
You got a question? Come on, ask it.
Do you guys feel as if once you say I'm sorry, you shouldn't say I'm sorry again?
Yes, especially if it's about the same thing. Because if I say I'm sorry to you for calling you such a name or whatever, right? And then you bring it up 2 months later. Well, I'm sorry, but it put me back in that space. And now I'm just thinking about when you called me this again. I really apologize for that. Now, if it's something different, then yes, apologize for something different. But I feel like if you're both going to continue to go in that cycle, you again sorry over and over again about the same thing that you choose to be in. No.
See, I think
No.
it
I
kind
agree.
of. Go ahead, Vanessa. Sorry.
I agree. A lot of times we as people, we think the I'm sorry word is going to get us out of a lot of stuff. Okay. And there's some people who can hear that multiple times and be okay. And then there are some people who be like, okay, you know what, buddy? No, no, not this time. Okay.
Mhm.
You don't did this to me. You don't clock me upside my head about 4 or 5 times. And you keep saying I'm sorry.
It's
Now is
action.
enough.
Action. Do your action back up your sorry?
That's
Absolutely.
the thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because within time, you're gonna see. Within time, like a person can tell you sorry, then y'all good for a week, and then a month they start sliding back to their old ways. Their action is proving itself. You're not
Hmm.
sorry. You just said that for the time being so we can move forward. But you're not sorry. You
Yeah,
gotta look at people's actions. Actions speak louder than words, as we know.
for me, I feel like people who use the I'm sorry, you tend to get numb to that when you hear it so many times. It's like everything. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's the point where your I'm sorries can actually be more hurtful than you not saying I'm sorry at all. For me, I'm the type of person you're gonna say I'm sorry, cool, but do your actions, like you guys said, reflect that you truly are sorry.
Mm.
I think it depends on the hurt that's been caused. I feel as if it's a friendship, then no. If you're truly sorry, you'll say I'm sorry, and then your actions will reflect it. But
Mm-hmm.
if it's like a relationship, let's say, then and you truly hurt the person you're with, then I think that you may have to say I'm sorry until their heart unhardens. That's the work that you for me personally, that's the work you have to put in to correct the wrongs that were done to the person that was hurt.
Mhm.
So even if it causes me to say I'm sorry 1,000 times, or hugging you 1,000 times, or reassuring you 1,000 times, or making you feel whole again, or you know, that's something that you need to do in order, if that's what you choose to do as far as relationships concerned. So for me, I think it depends on the hurt, and I think it depends on the type of relationship you have. For me, a friendship, no, but a relationship like a husband or boyfriend, um, then I think yes. I think if the level of hurt is what that
Yeah,
person needs to heal, then I think that you owe it to them to give them what they need to heal. Granted, they have to find
agree.
it themselves, but you didn't
Of
play your part.
course. Of course.
Mhm.
Agree. Like you said, reinsurance. Like, if you're trying to make this work after you hurting me, like, obviously if trust was lost, whatever the case may be, yeah, you definitely reinsure me. Like, to me, you don't have to keep saying I'm sorry, because, like, do you really mean it? But like your actions, like, like how you, like, checking up on me, how you
Mm,
feeling, like I said, not keep saying I'm sorry, because at the end of the day, that's gonna make me like mad again. You like, okay, why you keep apologizing? Just like just be there for me. Like, okay, I got you this. Like, just showing signs of affection, showing me that you're there. So I'm like, okay, even though he hurted me, he's showing me that he's care and he's in my corner and all that. But yeah, I don't need no repeated sorry.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't forget, there comes a point where you have to be responsible for your own feelings.
True.
Okay. We
Yes.
talk about closure. We talk about people are not going to give that to us when we may need it. Um, and
True.
if you know that this is a repeated cycle with this individual continually to apologize about
Hmm.
things that they've done to you, you have to
Hmm.
say, okay, am I going to continue to accept it, or I'm going to do something about it?
Yeah.
Okay. So there
True.
comes a point where you have to say, well, they did this, they did that. Okay. But they've been doing it all week, the last 6 months.
Yeah, but you sitting in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you got to point at yourself. Now you got to look at the person in the mirror. It's like, okay, they keep doing that to you, but what are you allowing them to do? That's what we need to ask ourselves. So I agree, Vanessa.
Yeah, but like I've been watching these little clips and things like that and reading it. There's this thing called like love bombing, where someone will like pour love on you real hard, shower you, shower you, shower you, and then just kind of knock you left field and treat you like scum or treat you like gum on the bottom of their shoes. Um, so people, you kind of go through the cycle of why am I still here, but then you go through these actions of, oh my god, he loves me really hard, but then there's other days where he treats me like the worst thing in the entire world.
Mm,
So I get that. Yes, sometimes you have to take a step back and be like, why am I repeating the same cycle of misuse, abuse, that type of relationship wise,
mhm.
um, to myself. But sometimes it truly is within a relationship. There's some crazy things going on mentally that kind of pulls you in. So I
Yeah.
don't know. Best of luck.
I would say, yeah, it's definitely not easy when you talking about in a relationship, navigating that. So, hey.
But to those sisters who are listening, I do, pray that, if you are going through something like that, if you're feeling like that, that you examine yourself sooner rather than later. Okay. Because I never wanted to get to a point where someone's lashing out and now someone's hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I told him not to keep doing this to me. I told him, and we're not just talking about relationships with men.
Yeah.
There can be family members who are so toxic that, one of them wind up getting hurt. So please take the time to realize that you are worth it.
Mm-hmm.
You are so worth it. And I personally do believe that relationships, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's a spouse or a boyfriend, it has a big deal of your upbringing. Because I can tell you personally, there's some things that life may deal me, and I'm not gonna take it because about who I was raised by.
Mm-hmm.
My mother and father didn't display certain things in my life, so I'll be darned if I'm gonna accept that from certain people around me.
Of course.
Yeah,
Okay.
but sometimes though but hold on, play devil real quick. Advocate, no, not the devil himself. But but sometimes though we are raised in households that show what not to take, but then we end up, like for instance, let me try to give an example. Sometimes in the relationship, your parents show your relationship what it's like, and then you find yourself in a relationship that your parents never wanted you to be in, or you never saw that, that, but then you stay because you're ashamed. You don't want to go back to your household and be like, yeah, so and so was doing X, Y, and Z, or so and so did this to me, because it's embarrassing. So some people stick it out because of the embarrassment, because the shamefulness that they think they may feel, when they know it's embarrassing to even admit that they're going through these things.
True.
Less embarrassing to admit that I'm leaving
You
this.
should know better.
It's embarrassing that you're like, dang, why am I putting up with this? Like, this is embarrassing to say that I'm putting up with this when I've never
Of course.
seen this from my parents, let's
Of
say.
course. Of course. And sometimes at the time you may not see it. Like, you know how like your family, you sometimes they see it before you do. And then you just like, you're hoping and praying that it's something different. And you're blinded by it at that moment. But then, like you said, when you finally see it, like Manquilla said, it's like, dang, I got so much pride. I don't want to admit this. So I'm trying to work this out. Because oftentimes a lot of us females, even guys, we stick in relationships when we know darn well we should have been gone. But it's just like, dang, are you gonna judge me from what y'all told me years ago? Because it's in the back of your mind, you already know. But it's just like, I'm gonna stick it out because I don't want to hear all these opinions of what he say, she say, and they say. And then you find yourself in this rut.
It personally is an individual thing. We on this channel are not suggesting that just because you were raised in a household and didn't experience violence or didn't experience, arguing, that you're going to grow up and be, such a manner. We're not saying that. I'm just blessed enough to have been shown such things, and I'm strong enough to stand on those certain things now that I'm older. If there's anyone out there, any of our sisters who are listening, please know that you're not in this alone. Please know that I've gotten to a certain point in life, and I can admit there was a time in life where, when I say my whole existence was on what people thought about me, it drove me crazy. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't comfortably live because I thought, what are these people going to think about me? And I never wanted anyone, the most painful thing to me was for someone to think something about me that wasn't true. That used to hurt me to the core. And I can honestly say, one day I woke up and I said, I don't care.